Time now, though, for our fresh off-the-field interview brought to you by Austin Air, the official clean air provider of the Buffalo Bills. And here, as promised, is Bills defensive tackle DaQuan Jones. DaQuan, welcome. How you doing? Fresh off the field, literally.
Yeah,
Thanks for
good.
getting over here so fast.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
I got to say, like we've said it on the show, too, you have been a horse up front for this defense, man. Like,
that.
locking it down. I know you got some help up front with your boys on the interior there.
Yeah.
But there have been guys, coming in and out of the lineup. Jordan's trying to get back now. And you've just been a rock in there. How would you characterize this transition overall? You're new to the roster in the spring, but it seems like you just kind of stepped right in, and it was like an easy transition, the whole thing.
Yeah, I give credit to Coach E, just getting me right early on in the system. And, that locker room and those guys in that room they're great guys, and they made everything kind of just flow real easy, training camp, OTAs, all that stuff. Like, I don't know, I kind of just picked up. I feel like I've been here for the last couple of years, you know what I mean? But and it feels very comfortable and natural, and I don't know, everything's kind of just gelling together.
Yeah, you got here. It's a strange little bit of a combination. You kind of got some experienced guys down inside, you and Jordan Phillips, even Ed Oliver now in his fourth year, Tim Settle.
Yeah.
Guys have played a little bit, but on the outside, you got some younger guys like AJ, Boogie, Greg Rousseau, those kind of guys. Well, Vaughn was a difference maker, but when he was here, obviously. Give me a little bit about the dynamic between you old guys down inside. I say old, but you know what I mean. The veteran guys down inside and the guys who are in their first, second year on the outside.
Yeah, I feel like we're doing a good job as far as like helping them guys out when they need it. You know what I mean? You don't want to give these guys too much information because this game is a lot at the end of the day, and whatever I can do to kind of just help them guys out in small details, I'm gonna try to do that. And I feel like they've been doing a heck of a job all year, just every game getting better at something and focus on like a new technique or key recognition or formation recognition. And it's been showing all season. You know what I mean? This past week was kind of hairy in the run game, but at the same time we got to get back to the fundamentals and basics and move on to the next. But I feel like they're doing a great job of picking up the little details and getting better at it each week.
Right.
Well, let's talk about the run game a little bit, because your guys' style is a penetrating, get up the field style, even in the run game. And while that's great because you can, spill things or force a running back to reroute in the backfield and then half the battle's won already, at the same time, you can see missed tackles on occasion. So how do you find the balance between getting the penetration you want while also trying to make the quote-unquote textbook-type tackle? Because you're flying up the field, and it's like, you can't break down in a half a secand. You know what I mean?
They're tough, but that's like the nature of the business. You know what I mean? Like, we signed up for that, and our job isn't easy. But just the plays we got to make, and we left a lot out there Saturday, and just the stuff we got to make, man. As simple as it is, like, we got to go out there and just make the plays we're meant to make and, get off the field.
One of the things about the defense, we talk to Leslie all the time, and we get scouting reports, and we can see on film, we watch too. You guys almost never get out of nickel. Right? It's your base defense, really, with Taryn on there and, Matt and Tremaine as linebackers, and you guys with your hands on the ground, all four of you. What do you think it would like this team in Chicago, particularly maybe in this kind of weather? Would that be the kind of game plan where you say, you know what, we almost want to dare these guys to throw because they run the ball pretty well. Let's throw A.J. Klein out there, go three linebackers, go a little heavier in the box and see if we can lure them into throwing it rather than playing our nickel and inviting them to run.
We went through the game plan a little bit today. Whatever really Coach Frazier feels comfortable with doing. I think we're confident in both ways in stop and run or playing the pass in either nickel or base. And again, it was just a lot of missed tackles last week that kind of messed us up. We've been playing nickel all year and stop and run pretty well. So I don't want to, say it's either nickel or base, whatever that. But whatever, Coach Frazier kind of feels would be the best for our game plan going forward and going into this game, I think we'll do that. But I think we can play either way.
When you guys struggle stopping the run, what's the basic thing that happens? Or is there?
Yeah, you look at the Green Bay, the Jets, and even last week. A lot of missed tackles. Within at the line of scrimmage or a couple yards up the field that kind of broke free and kind of gashed us a little bit. I think if we make those tackles, the run game is a whole different story.
Yeah. looking at, I know it's a short week, so you're probably just diving into the film, but Fields, I mean, he's got 1,000 yards rushing already.
Yeah.
You know, we're only 14 games in. So what is it about his running style that kind of makes you sit up in your chair when you're watching the tape?
I mean, just watching it last night. I mean, he's fast. I mean, when he decides to run on a scramble, he kind of takes the open grass, and you see him get 20 yards of pop, and it looks effortless. You know what I mean? Then the QB runs too. I mean, once he gets the edge, it's kind of game over. I mean, so we got to make sure that we are on our P's and Q's and make sure we're doing our job up front and our gap integrity, and making sure our ends do a good job of sitting down and reading that quarterback and making them run lateral and not vertical.
Where do defenses, and when you watch these guys play in their game plan, what do defenses fear most when they play Chicago? I mean, what you notice that every team does against this team?
I mean, really, you have to just get after them. I mean, because they run the ball really well. So like, you just have to be able to control the line of scrimmage, and again, that's on the D line and really linebackers too, the whole defense, but really control the line of scrimmage and make sure that we can make them one-dimensional and knock out the run game. I mean, if you can do that and make them pass the ball, it's a less of a threat to have a team to be able to do two things instead of one thing.
Right.
Gonna be pretty chilly there.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've seen the forecast
like
already.
4 degrees.
Wasn't that bad here Saturday night last week? It wasn't that cold. I mean, it was cold, but I know you big guys don't mind the cold as much, but that's getting some serious stuff, plus some wind, throw a little wind chill in. Not that you're not used to temperatures in upstate New York. I don't know if a lot of Bills fans know this. You're from Johnson City down in the Binghamton area.
Yep.
How cool has it been to be much closer to home, in your professional football city? And if you still have family there, have they been able to get up to some home games this year?
I mean, my brother and my grandma came to one of her first NFL game a couple weeks ago. And,
oh, nice.
I've been in the league for 9 years, and her first game. So, for her to be able to come up and make the trip was pretty cool. My younger brother came, and, my dad comes up every weekend, my older brother and my nieces and nephews. So, be able to see all them, and, it's great to be able to do that on the weekends and be able to, kick it with them and hang with them, and especially on game day to look up there and see them in the stands. So, I've been really enjoying that.
So you got this team, you land on this team, and they got all these expectations. They're like the favorite. They're the 1 seed now, headed into the playoffs. You're coming down the home stretch, and you're the 1 seed, and everything's right in front of you. You see them. They signed John Brown. He comes in. They signed Cole Beasley. He comes in. It's all hands on deck. What's the vibe in the locker room like when these games get big? Your reward for winning this big game. Yeah, great. There's a bigger one this week. Here we go.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you got to stay hungry, man. We're in the D-line room this morning, and we just kept talking about and preaching about how each and every week we come in and try to get better. No matter if we win, lose, draw, it doesn't matter. But to come in and get better, because we know what the end goal is, and whatever we have to do to fix the stuff we need to fix, to get right, to go out there and play a better, more dominant football game on defense. That's what we have to do, and that message is all throughout the locker room. And I think everyone knows, what we have to do this week going into Chicago, especially this week in practice, to make sure we all hone in on the little details so we don't get sloppy with that going into the bigger games. Really just kind of focus on, day one fundamentals and making sure we're all on our stuff.
Speaking of the D-line room, DaQuan, there was a photo recently on social media, so we want to kind of get the 411 on exactly what's going on with this picture for our radio listeners. It's basically the majority of the D-line group. Ed Oliver is shirtless outside in the snow. DaQuan is suns out, guns out as well, and the tank top and shorts. And who's that in the middle? Is that
Boogie Basham?
It's Boogie. Okay, I thought it was.
The bibs?
Yeah. He's wearing an apron or overalls. He's wearing overalls.
Yeah, overalls. Yeah.
What was the impetus for this photo?
I mean, I think it was just a mindset that we wanted to have going into this game. Like, we kept talking about how cold it's gonna be and the weather. And we're like, bump all that. Like, let's go out there and have fun. And I'm like, I'm gonna wear shorts and a tank top. They go, no, you ain't. I'm like, yes, I am. I show up to work, and then they all want to kind of get on the vibe, and took off his top, and Boogie took off his hoodie, and we rocked out.
All right. So it kind of became a dare thing.
Yeah.
There were some noticeable non-participants. Mike Love had his bubble coat on.
Mike Love was like, all right,
And Rousseau, the Miami guy, had his long sleeve and long pants on.
Yeah.
You couldn't get him to buy in?
This is, give me a little insight here, too, because this game, you had all this foresight. The whole story in the run-up to the Dolphin game was the weather. It was going to be snowy, bad weather, all of this stuff. This Chicago game is going to be, it's not going to be really that snowy, but it's going to be really, really cold, like 0 degrees kind of thing, 4 degrees. How is it different or is it different? I know you got your process and you just kind of go through it, but on game day, do you wear, different layers, all that kind of stuff, or do you have a go-to set?
I wear the same stuff every week pretty much. I mean, it kind of all depends on how I'm feeling, but I'm normally no sleeve type guy, and especially in the colder games, I don't like wearing sleeves. But I mean, for this game, you go out there and the basic get up and make sure you get a good warm up pregame and kind of
keep it.
Keep the key to playing the game is trying to keep warm on the sideline the entire game. So that's kind of the key point of it.
I'm with you.
The last one I've got for you, you got a birthday coming up next week,
Yep.
right? Tuesday.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
How did you deal with that as a kid? Because there are a lot of kids. I had a friend of mine.
Christmas.
He was born on Christmas. So it was like one shot and that's it for the whole year. So where did you kind of come down on having a birthday so close to Christmas? Because Christmas is great.
Yeah.
2 days later, you got a birthday, and then you're waiting 363 days until something happens again.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't trying to be, going that too deep in my past, but, growing up wasn't, the best for me. So, the holiday season, it was kind of hit or miss. And to me, I just really didn't think about it in that terms.
Okay, I got you.
Until I realized I got older, and then when you got older and hit 21, I'm like, well, my birthday's on the 27th, New Year's right there, so you kind of just, bring it all together and do it that way. But for me, growing up, it didn't really bother me that much. I kind of was in a different thought process.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Well, happy birthday.
Yeah,
thank you.
happy birthday, pre-birthday. Last one for me. Have you gotten any rumblings or any possibilities that the travel may be disrupted this year going to Chicago? Like, are you guys maybe go Thursday night or go early Friday than normal or anything yet like that yet? Or are they still waiting?
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no.
I didn't know if they had even begun those conversations yet. So it may be just a normal week depending on the weather.
They're here for it in Chicago.
In Chicago.
Oh.
Getting into Chicago looks like it may be a problem for holiday travelers, which, by the way, you're playing on a holiday. So,
Well, yeah, Christmas Eve,
Christmas
right?
Eve.
so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was just wondering if they had thought, it's like, hey, guys, get your mind around the fact we might have to go a day early or later in the day or earlier in the day. Or
No, I haven't heard anything. Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep our eye on that. Thanks.
All
Good
right,
to see you,
man.
man.
Well, keep chopping wood out there on the practice field and on the game field. We appreciate you stopping by, man. It's
No
good
problem.
to see you.
Thanks for having me.